Guys, have you ever wondered why surgery is seen as taboo? It's not because people want you to embrace your natural beauty. It's because surgery is biologically revolting, as it is telling us this person's genetics were in some way subpar and thus had to be corrected. But surgery can be one of the greatest things you could do in your life. Ignore all the fakes telling you to just embrace an unattractive feature. They just don't want you to surpass your genetic limits and be more attractive than them. People like attractive features regardless of whether they are real or not. That's why girls get better treatment whilst wearing makeup. Even though guys will say they don't like girls who wear tons of makeup, reality is when they see a girl with the illusion of flawless skin due to makeup, next to a girl who has mild acne, they will choose the girl with makeup every time. As what we see overrides what we know, people don't care that you're natural. If you don't look as aesthetic as the Insta model with dozens of surgeries, guys, literally 90% of female celebrities have had some form of cosmetic procedure, but they still have hordes of men worshipping their looks every day. Because a Stacy with a nose job is still a Stacy. It doesn't matter if her nose was built like Pinocchio's before. If she got a surgery to make her look better, she will be picked over girls that may have better natural features, as we don't actively account for that in the moment. For example, guys like girls with blonde hair. They do not care if it's fake or not, even though only those with real blonde hair can pass on this trait to their offspring. This is the power of frauding and the power of surgery. Firstly, before you even think about surgery, you must maximize yourself in every other conceivable way first, and then analyze truthfully whether you need this surgery, or is it just an insecurity blown out of proportion. I would only recommend surgery if it will drastically improve your health, such as dental work/jaw work, or massively improve your aesthetic by correcting a phthalo, such as a rhinoplasty. Also, I would recommend never telling anyone about your surgery. It is better to have them guess than be certain, especially women. As I described before, they are hardwired to seek out the best genetics, and therefore admitting to surgical procedures is essentially admitting to inferior genetics. The point of all looks maxing as a man is to make it seem as if you were just born this way, and people will not give it too much thought, as what they see matters most. People are inherently short-term thinkers. Most people do not consciously vet the genetics of their partner beyond a surface looks level. Meaning if someone looks attractive, most people just assume they have good genes even if it's quite evident they have had work done. Examples are literally every celebrity on this planet, that the power of the halo effect. Another example that illustrates this point perfectly is designer clothing. People who wear designer tastefully are perceived as more wealthy even though majority of people that consume designer clothing are actually of average wealth. But if you wear too much designer clothing, it becomes cringe and makes you look like a fraud. And surgery is the exact same. A small well-done surgery can add to your perceived attraction, but when you overdo it, you become cringe to look at. Remember, most celebrities you see being celebrated for their beauty have had cosmetic surgery, and although people will pretend they don't like it and virtue signal by saying, "I think they looked better with a crooked nose or a recessed jaw," their actions disprove this, as it's not the natural people with flaws that get the followers and the money and the fame. It's the cosmetically enhanced. I'm not telling you guys to go crazy. I seriously advise you reflect and come to an honest conclusion about whether or not you need surgery. I believe one good surgery can literally change someone's life, as often one feature may be holding someone back from being conventionally attractive. Did you know over 4% of Americans have had surgery, and majority of those are a rhinoplasty? Hats tens of millions of people. It's by far the most common surgery, and honestly the results can be life-changing, particularly if you suffer from an unattractive nose shape. And I would recommend this. However, make sure you don't cut costs on any surgery ever. Better results are worth any amount of money, and safety and quality should be number one. In closing, I'm trying to explain that surgeries are not a bad thing despite the rhetoric towards them. People will treat you better if you are more attractive, and they do not care if it was from a surgery, especially if it's discreetly done. Don't let people's words convince you they care about certain features, as their actions always prove otherwise. And if you suffer from a flaw that can only be corrected via surgery, don't be afraid of those that will judge, as they are simply upset. You are more attractive than them. And say this stuff to make them feel better about their own flaws. Let me show you what a well-done surgery can do to your attractiveness. This guy got a jaw surgery and a rhinoplasty, maybe some other minor procedures. As well, look at the result. He is literally in the 0.5% of attractiveness, and his entire life has benefited from it. I guarantee this guy's life has improved in every measurable metric. Guys, if you follow the looks maxing advice I give in these videos, you can literally go from a normie 5/10 to an 8/10 Chad. And that's genuinely possible, it's just that most people don't look smacks optimally, which is exactly why I make these videos to show you guys how to actually improve your attractiveness, real useful advice that can and will work. This has been your Improvement Tour, and remember to keep improving.